This is my first one. So I separate into 3 different parts since I teach. So I got the the introduction and then concrete. I'll save the emotional stuff for the end. But brief history of Scott and myself. We started off when we were 4 playing in North Shore Jewish League soccer, and while we were doing drills, I just thought to myself, I saw this albino kid running around. I was like, wow, he looks sick. So, and then of course we didn't get along at all, but our parents really liked hanging out with each other, so they forced us to be friends. On to more sports. We played baseball together, started when we were about 6 or 7, and we had a terrific coach, Mr. Brian Oshrin. And we started that at 7, and when we were 8 years old, Brian relinquished control of the team to Scott and myself, and we were then in charge of making the lineup. True story, by the way, true story. Yeah. And we went to Hebrew school, and we weren't really the best Hebrew schooler goers. But we constantly got in trouble, and God forbid one of the teachers told Scott to take his jacket off. All out war. So what happened was the principal, there's actually a principal at Hebrew school, and he made Scott and myself tutor the young Jewish students. That was our punishment for our behavior, and we're trying to explain the reason we're acting up is because we don't really know anything like in Hebrew and stuff, so we're going to find it hard to tutor. But it happened anyway. We did a couple of camps, and at Sleepaway Camp I was actually up this past weekend, and I was looking at the bunk plaques. And for those of you that don't know, his nickname is Powder because of his lack of tanning ability. But his first nickname on the bunk plaque was Spanky. And if you want to know how that came about, you can ask him later. Let's see where to go next. We'll go with our love. Our love as children, and it's actually kept up now, was pizza, and we hated being driven around by our parents. So in order to get pizza, what we did was we used to travel an hour and a half from Ronkonkoma to Penn Station, grab a slice, and then go back onto the train. which we still do on occasion. And all right, now the more sincere stuff. More funny. Okay, more funny. So, I was actually told, and I will keep my promise, that unfortunately, I'm sorry, Maddie and the rest of the Ithaca guys, we are leaving college out of this speech. So, but I do have one good college story, and this is just the type of friend that Scott was to me. Many times, I'd say 3. He visited me in Hartford, and which is 3 more than I did in Ithaca. So hands off to him. But the public safety knew him by first name. And his last visit, though, just to tell you what kind of friend he was. We went out. We had soda that night, and when we came back, I got a knock on my door, and this is a true story too, and 4 gentlemen seemed to have a disagreement with me and just started beating the crap out of me. Scott wanted fresh air at the time, so he came down, and he was like, what's going on here? And then he decided to get involved, which is good because it was 4-on-1. And so he took on 1 or 2 others. And afterwards, after we got annihilated, it just wasn't fair. Afterwards, public safety guys, they're like, we should arrest you 2. And they're like, sir, do you see our face? Why are you going to arrest us? But that's the type of friend that Scott is. He's always there for you when you need him. Yeah. True. Now we'll go on to Sarah. Sarah, believe it or not, I was actually part of their first date which is weird anyway. So Scott was like, you know, I met this person. Does everyone know how you met? Or is it, no? All right. Well, so I met this girl, and by met I mean I instant messaged somebody on the site. And it was like, you know, she's really cool. She talks about sports and going to the batting cage and everything. Do you want to come out with us? I was like, oh yeah, sure. How many times have you gone out? He's like, oh no, this will be the first time. I was like, you want me? I was like, you know how we are together. You sure you want this to happen? He was like, yeah, you know, if it's gonna happen, I want it done the right way. I want you to come out with us. So we went to a great club, and afterwards, do you remember how we finished the night? We finished the night with pizza, which was very important. I'm going to wrap up very soon, I promise. So during that time, Scott didn't really understand the whole feelings thing, like actually liking somebody and everything. And it was just fun. It's just a funny process to see somebody that's never like had that, and then slowly but surely built up. But we went on a cruise, and which is also interesting because the people we went on the cruise with, we went out with people that were married for about 25 years, right? The teachers. We went out with 2 lesbians, and then it was us. So if you can picture the table and the seating arrangements, there was absolutely no girls for me to go on that cruise because they were like, oh, that's so what a cute couple you two made. Yeah, but so we were at a club on the boat, and it was Scott and I, and there was just couples on the dance floor, and he turns to me and he's like, I want to dance. I'm like, Scott, I'm not dancing with you. He's like, come on, just dance with me. Scott, I'm not dancing with you. I'm like, Scott, they're doing salsa and merengue right now. I'm not dancing with you. And then he turns to me and he's just like, you're embarrassed by me. At that time, after I refused and denied him a dance, he went through and he talked about what a special girl Sarah is, and how he didn't really understand how to take everything and the emotions and what love really is. And I believe it was at that time that I knew that this was going to last and that I would be up here making this speech. But to Scott, you've been my best friend and my brother. I love you. Sarah, Scott will never sing Rent with you. But I will, yes. You will never be excited to see a Broadway musical or watch The Notebook with a box of tissues. But he will do what he does best. He will be there for you in times of need. He will love you. You married a very special person. And if you can raise your glasses, which I don't have. Should I have one? Perfect. All right. I'm going to drink from this side.
I asked you to take it. I did.
Good. You know how to load up to YouTube? That's it. I want to see that on YouTube tonight.
Yeah, sure, because I didn't drink.